Shadow here on Mix 93.8. We've got Fred in the studio from CMTrading. Fred, good morning.
Good morning.
Fred Razak, is that right? Razak?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, so you're not from New York, we were just saying off air. You're actually originally from?
Iran.
Okay, and they went to New York when?
I came to New York in 1981.
Okay, and you also mentioned Manchester.
Yes, sir.
Are you a City fan or United fan?
United. United. Through and through.
Tell us about CMTrading, would you?
So we're a financial service provider. We allow people to, we give the service and allowing people to trade the financial markets. Today, in today's day and age, I really feel that the rest of the world has picked up to where the United States was about 20 years ago, where it gives people the access to trade and participate in speculation of the financial markets, where you weren't able to do that 20 years ago here in South Africa or anywhere.
Right.
So, the advent of the internet has leveled the playing field for anybody around the world to really participate in the fluctuations of the markets.
I'm just looking at the awards and the accolades that you have. I mean, you're big everywhere pretty much, especially in Africa and South Africa.
Yes. The founders of the company really put a lot of emphasis in adding value to people educationally. And I think that that's the foundation of you give to the clients as much educational background. And they've allowed me to give that to people who are looking to participate in the financial markets.
Okay.
So that really was the most important element, I think, that sets us aside from some of the other competitors.
Now, you've got an event tomorrow, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And there's also, how often do you do the webinars, by the way?
So webinars, I present about 4 times a month.
Yeah.
I usually do a one subject, and then I do a 2-session, one subject, where I really delve a little bit more. It takes a little bit more to present those type of subjects, so I spend 2 days, so I do back-to-back 2 nights in a row.
Wow. Back in 9/11, you were in New York.
Yes.
What was the impact on the world, in your opinion, immediately as it happened?
I separate my life personally to pre-9/11, post-9/11.
Okay.
I think that the world maybe has forgotten since then, because it wasn't in anybody's back door. But when the fight came to your back door, I think that kind of humbled a lot of people. Since then, I want to say thank God that it hasn't happened again, and I hope it doesn't ever happen again, but it's always on the backdrop. I mean, we don't really see what the Secret Service of every country kind of thwarts and puts away that's not seen to the public eye, because if I think we really did, I don't think we would be able to, live normal lives.
Absolutely. And COVID, I mean, the impact of COVID, in your opinion, in terms of the impact on the financial situation of people in the world? Well,
I mean, I think it was good in certain respects, and I think it was bad in certain respects. So the goodness is that you could see that you can carry on, despite the fact that we were all living from our homes and working from our homes. I think it's not as healthy for us to disconnect and go to a proper workplace. I think that that's a much healthier behavioral thing than any of us have to really disconnect and be able to focus on our work. However, at the same time, I think it brought a lot of people to creative ways of how they could actually produce income that was alternative from what they saw during COVID. I mean, I had one friend who lost his job and had to figure out another way. And he started a small business, and it's now grown up to their main income now. So, every distress lands on it an opportunity. And I think if one really galvanizes and really takes their really searches inside and finds creative ways to survive and then thrive in those type of environments. So, nobody ever likes, those type of circumstances, but when they do present themselves, it's a fantastic opportunity.
People listening now, if they would like to get involved and create passive income through trading. When is the event? It's tomorrow. What time?
It's at 6 p.m. at the Da Vinci Hotel in Stanton City.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about some financial backgrounds of myself and how I got involved in it. We'll also be describing how other people can really expose themselves to learning about the financial markets and adding value to themselves and learning how to trade.
And how much money is involved? I mean, if you're going to go big, you're hoping to make a lot, but you don't have to go big, surely.
So, this is one of the things, like, I'm a very responsible person. When you're driving a car, you put on a seatbelt, right?
Yep.
You don't drive without a seatbelt 100 kilometers per hour. And when you do anything in life, it has to be balanced. So when I say that, I think that I don't know what any particular financial situation is. It has to be balanced. It has to be something that's responsible. I don't want you going and putting your house on mortgage so you could take that money and then, trade with it. I want you to do it with, some sort of responsibility and some sort of latitude in terms of your personal comfortability. Because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to make money in it. If you're always thinking, how am I going to pay the rent, or how am I going to pay the electric, it's not going to work, because you're going to be too stressed out and not going to be able to focus on your game plan. So when I say that, each person has to take their own individual focus and see what their comfort level is. And it's progressive, meaning what you start out with isn't necessarily what you're going to be committed to in about a year from now or 5 years from now. And I like to look at the long game. I'm not this is not a one-night stand. This is something that you build. It's a business. It's a trading strategy. It's a game plan. And just like you start any business, you have to have a game plan. You have to have, downside and upside. And I think that if you come into it thinking, I'm going to just be rich overnight, I think that's overstated. I don't say that doesn't exist in this business. It does. There are those type of situations. I came into that business, finding tremendous luck very early on, but that's not sustainable over the long run.
Okay. If people want to book and be there tomorrow, what time? 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock at the Da Vinci Hotel.
And how can they book for that?
They don't just show up.
Just turn up.
Just turn up. If you are SVP, I think it'll be much better, but you could just show up.
Fantastic. Fred, it's been really good chatting with you. Thanks for popping into Mix this morning.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. And enjoy your stay in South Africa.
Thank you. Peace and love.
Cheers.